Atlassian recently had a little bit of a hiccup with their automation rules where automations were unavailable and in some cases they even got corrupted. Now, on April 7th, Atlassian is going to try to fix that, but it's so severe that Atlassian is intentionally having a planned outage in order to fix a problem. This is very rare in the cloud. But if you never want to be caught in that situation again where your automation rules are lost or corrupted or inaccessible, or even worse, maybe even a cyber attack happens, then make sure you pay attention to this video because my good friends over at Revyz have allowed me to create this video where I'm going to show you how to restore and how to use Revyz Configuration Manager for Jira to essentially protect you in the event that something bad happens with your automation rules. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and don't forget to check out the link in the description so you can start your free 30-day trial to Revyz. So let's talk about a couple scenarios that are pretty common. Number one, a cyber attack. We never know when that's going to happen. When it does, it's never a good thing. And you need to have a backup solution like Revyz in place before the attack happens so that you and your data are protected. So now scenario number two is essentially what we experienced a few weeks ago when Atlassian themselves had a hiccup. Automation rules were inaccessible. Nobody can use them, and they were gone for a few hours. It wasn't like a 5-minute thing. This was like a few hours in which no automation rules were executed, and some people didn't even know that there was an outage, so they went in to try to change or fix or figure out what was going on. They ended up corrupting their automation rules, and it was just no good news for everybody, right? So Revyz allows us to essentially back up our automation rules. Now, in my previous video, linked down in the description, I talked about how to make an automation rule and how to enable Revyz so that it's tracking and backing up your automation rules. Well, today we're going to be focusing on two interesting use cases. In addition to the first two that I already talked about, that cyber attack, and in the unfortunate event that automation rules become inaccessible, but in a more real world scenario, right? I'm an admin. I do this thing 12, 14 hours every single day. But in a real world situation, I typically go through one of these two events fairly common, more common than I would like. And that is I accidentally delete one of my automation rules, or I'm trying to work or fix or improve upon an automation rule. I go down a rabbit hole only to discover that my automation rule was way better 17 changes ago. And I just want to go back, but I can't remember how it was. And at this point, I didn't make a copy. I don't have a backup. I'm way in too deep, and I'm just totally just messed up. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on how Revyz can help us with those two situations. So let's jump into Jira and let's talk about this. So first off, what happens if I were to, I don't know, accidentally trip, click on this actions button and hit delete, and then completely ignore the fact that this says that once I delete something, it is not recoverable. So what happens again if I trip a second time, click OK after that warning, and that automation rule is gone? Well, if you don't have something like Revyz, then you're basically done. Like there's nothing you can do. You'll have to recreate the rule. But because you watched this video and because you clicked on the link down below and you got Revyz set up in your environment, we now have a solution for you. So let me show you how easy it is to bring that automation rule back. Now keep in mind that this is going to work in this scenario where they got deleted, or maybe you got to just restore, right? Maybe you want to go back. You want to go back to a known version. In that case, I would recommend delete the automation rule that you have right now because you're in too deep, and we're just going to start over and you're just going to restore. So we're just going to show you how do I restore these automation rules once they're gone, or once I intentionally delete it because I just got to scrap it, right? It's so corrupted. I want to go back to a known good state. So again, luckily for us, we got Revyz on our side. So all we're going to do is click on the little gear, go to apps, and we're going to look for Revyz Configuration Manager for Jira over here on the left-hand side. And we're going to click on clone and restore. Now, once you're in here, you're going to click on clone. Now, this does assume, again, that you follow the instructions in the first video and you have automation rules now enabled to be backed up. And it also assumes you have an active license and you're doing the backups. Now, the backups happen automatically on your behalf, so there's nothing you got to worry about. But now, once we know that we have a backup and we know that we enabled it, we're going to click on clone, and you'll see that we have a new menu option, automation rules. We're going to click on that. You're going to pick your site. You're going to pick the snapshot. In this case, I'm going from last night because I know it was there last night. It just accidentally got deleted this morning. I'm going to click on next. Now here you can filter. So if you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of automation rules, it might be a little hard to find a needle in a haystack. So here you can change the scope so you can see all the ones that are maybe single project, maybe it was a multi-project. You can pick from that. You can basically look by the owner, you can look by the actor, or you can just look up by the name if you know the name. In my case, I only have a handful of automation rules, so I'm just gonna risk it and I'm gonna click on next. That's gonna bring back all the automation rules that are in here. And I'm simply gonna find the one that got deleted, this auto create subtask 1. I'm gonna click on view summary. And then once I'm here, I'm gonna click on export rules. Now this is gonna give you some instructions. Make sure you take a screenshot of this because once these instructions go away, you can't get back to them. So take a screenshot of this so you understand the rules, and or make sure you watch the rest of this video so that you know how to restore it. So once you acknowledge this, you're just gonna click on export rules, and then Revyz is gonna do its thing. So once it does that, you'll see that this job has successfully exported, but you'll notice that there's an action required. This, my friends, is very, very key because what we've done is we've essentially gone halfway. We've told Revyz, go and grab the automation rule that's missing or that I want to restore, but it's in a holding pattern. And what we need to do next is we got to click on this 1147. This is the ID of the job. We're going to click into it. And then you're going to notice that we have an automation rule here. And so we're going to click on download. When we do that, it's going to give us this little pop-up that says, do you want to download? Yes, of course. And so we're going to download that automation rule. You'll see that it goes and fires it off. And now you'll see that we're successful. This is done. Like we're done with Revyz. At this point, Revyz has officially covered us. We're good. We've exported the automation rule. Now we got to go back into Jira. So I'm going to go click back into the gear, go to system, go to my automation rules over here on the left-hand side. And this time I'm going to click on the 3 little dots up here. I'm going to import a rule. I'm going to click on upload JSON. I'm going to click on my JSON file that just got exported, click open. And then it's going to tell me, again, it's scraping through the metadata through the JSON. And this is what it gave me, which is, here's the name, here's the project that I used to be in. I'm going to go, yes, that looks good. You optionally have the option to import rule owners. I don't think that this is going to be a problem because most of the time, unless something really bad happened, you should already have your owners in there. So I'm just going to click on next. While this is importing, I want to tell you, this is something you want to have in place before catastrophe happens. Do not wait until something bad happens. And trust me, I make hundreds of automation rules every single day. I can't tell you how many times somebody has accidentally deleted something because they thought they were deleting a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, but they ended up deleting the right one. And it's very, very frustrating. You can't come back from that. And I can't tell you how many times I thought I have this bright idea and I'm making some changes to an automation rule that used to work so well. And I just want to improve it because, you know, everything's always can be improved. And I end up just messing things up even worse. So trust me, there's no worse feeling in your gut when you wish you had a backup solution in place for your automation rules, and Revyz is going to help you out with that. So once the import process is completed, you just simply click on done. And now, like if nothing ever happened, your automation rule is back. And so it's super simple to restore it, just a few clicks, and it does the version controlling for you. So every night it's doing a backup. So maybe you make a change, and then 2 days later you come back, right? It's gonna have different versions. So every single time that you're running a backup, now keep in mind you also can force a backup. So make a change, force the backup, make another change, force the backup. You can definitely do that. So you don't have to wait for those nightly backups to run. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash the subscribe button, drop a like if you get value, and don't forget to check out the link down below as I have a link to Revyz's app so that you can get a free 30-day trial. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.